Hello there, my name is Rob Kermer with Lodestone Patchworks. I'm the inventor and owner of Lodestone. What this video is to show is a comparison between our 12x12 patch and Tandem's products 9x12 patch. So they both are all-weather patches. They both don't need any tools, any adhesives to put on. They're both made with high-quality urethane, so on that point they're equal. As you can see from the chart here, the price range, they're right there neck and neck. So all of that out of the way, let's get to the actual testing. One of the main things I'd like to point out is the liner. The wear material on the Lodestone is 120 square inches. That is, you get everything you see in red is doable. The Rhino unit, it is actually 64 square inches, and that's based on the distance between the magnets, because it's got to hang on to some spouting along the way, and the overall length here, which is basically 64 square inches. So you get significantly more surface area on the Lodestone patch than you do the Rhino. The other things I'd like to point out is this liner is replaceable. This one is not. The thickness of the liner is 1/4 inch, and because of these ribs, the actual wear area of this liner is 1/4 inch as well. So once you wear through the what you've got that doesn't have the reinforcement ribs on it, you've got no choice but to either put some duct tape on it or simply throw it away and start over. They both have rare earth magnets, so that's an equal. The Lodestone does offer two different liner materials. They offer a high quality urethane and a white nitrile food grade liner. So with that being said, we're going to do a little testing. The Lodestone patch fits really tight. This guy here has a bit of a gap on it. It's not catastrophic. Items as large as corn, soybeans, things like that are not going to fall out of this gap. Smaller items, if you're smaller grains, aggregates, minerals, things like that, you might have a problem with. You be the judge. So our first test, we're going to set this up here. I'm going to use the liner material since it's a nice pretty color. I'm going to set this out of the way for now. We've got a ready-made hole here. This is basically a spout or a chute that is enclosed on the inside. It feeds out so that anything poured in here comes out through this space. We're going to show what dribbles out past through the patch. So we're going to put this guy on and give it a try. First thing we're going to use is common table salt. So as you can see, we've got some leakage. I don't know if you get a good shot. That's a fair amount of salt. Okay, we're going to set that one aside. The next item we're going to go to is a small seed. Now this is actually sesame seeds. Now one thing to point out, I've also got mustard seed here, and the reason I've selected these two is because of canola is a seed with vastly different size range, as with all grains, but canola, the smallest grain size is about the same size as sesame. The largest one is about the size of mustard. I couldn't find these separate varieties of canola, so I got it as close as I could. So we're going to put sesame seeds in here. And we don't have a tremendous amount of leakage, but we've got leakage, as you can see. Now I'm going to let this patch loose to make sure that there's no residual in there. Clean it all out. Took that one off the side. Now I want a white one because this seed's just dark in color. And I guess this will be able the larger end of the canola or grains with that size and shape. So the same way, you can see that we do have some flow through. You know, it's not a truckload, but if you get a little bit of flow through, it's going to grow. It's going to increase that whole side, actually from the outside back inward, because you're actually rubbing on two sides then. So that's as far as this demonstration goes. I'm going to pull this one off, put the Lodestone on there, go through the exact same scenario and show you what we got there. We've demonstrated the possible leakage from the Rhino flexible patch. You be decider on if that's okay for you or if it's not. One of the other things that we'd like to point out is the flexible patch is basically 100% urethane. Our Lodestone patch has a sheet metal skin on it to act as a skeletal to protect and reinforce the urethane. Also act as a UV barrier, so sunlight's not going to degrade the urethane, possibly dry it out and crack it over time. Don't know how long that would take, but we've definitely got that addressed. Now we basically put our patch on, same spout. We're going to start with common table salt. We'll pour that in there. I've got like 12 grains that came out possibly. Now I'm going to open this up to show that it was actually in there. So there's our salt. As you can see, that was captive inside the spout. We're going to put this and do the sesame seeds. I have no seeds, and again, there they are. And then I'll put this one in there. Now, if the sesame seeds didn't come out, I'm sure the mustard's not going to come out, but we're going to show you anyway. There's a mustard seed. Got nothing come out. There's the seeds. So we've got a very good seal. This seal is tight enough that one of the things that we found is the gap, even though it's not huge in the flexible patch unit, it is large enough to slide this piece of basically 1 by 1/8 inch piece of cardboard down in there from top to bottom. What we found with Lodestone is paper, probably, I don't know, 20 thousandths thick. You can't even get this in our spout. You can barely get the corner of it started, but you're definitely not going to get this kind of thing going on. So there you have it, folks. You be the judge. We are going to try one other test here in just a couple minutes. We're going to break for just a second, kind of clean up. I'll go into the explanation on that just shortly. Thank you.